Yo, it's been a whole freaking year since Breath of the Wild released, and that put me in a mood to start playing again. I don't need to tell you this, but the game does a lot of things right. One of the strong points being the amount of content residing within the largest Hyrule that we've seen to date. The land is brimming with wildlife, and is decorated with a variety of puzzles in the form of shrines. As I said, I've been getting an urge to play Breath of the Wild again, so I dusted off my Switch and started the game, but I reached an impasse, to quote a great man. There was nothing much left for me to do. And as I was doing nothing, I decided that I would go into a shrine and try to find a workaround for completing its puzzles. And boy, did that set off a chain of reasons for me to keep playing. I continued to look through every shrine in the map, and wow, every second was worth it. Because some of the skips that I found were really funny, some of them were kind of useless and kind of ended up extending the time more than it should be. And some of them were just so surprising that it inspired me to make a countdown list of my favorite ones. So, let's get right into it. The first skip in this list is in the Abra region, in the Drawing Parabola Shrine. In this shrine, the exit is super close to the entrance, and the exit has no roof, meaning that you can enter from the top by using the right tools. Luckily, there's a pile of boxes on the raised platform near the exit. There's no way to reach them. So what you want to do is to first use stasis on an upper box, then to hit that box with arrows from its side. This will cause the nearest box to fall, and from there, you can push the fallen box near the platform and then climb the platform. The goal is to climb to the highest box and shoot up the missing roof of the exit. One way to do this is to lay a bomb under the box that was frozen with stasis, while it is once again under stasis. To do this, break the lower box that's not directly under the upper box, then in the space where the broken box would have been, place 2 bombs. The next step is to climb on the upper box. Once you're up there, use stasis on the upper box and hit it a few times to build up energy. While it's still in stasis, use bombs to redirect the upper box skyward. When stasis releases, be quick to use the paraglider to fly across the gap in the walls surrounding the exit. This technique applies to basically any shrines with boxes or barrels in them. I'm going to call this technique the static bomb, as it'll show up a bunch more times in later entries. Different types of boxes and barrels need to be handled differently, but one thing they all share in common is that crouching on top of them will reduce the chance of you flinching from damage. Number 9 is an intricate one. Here we find ourselves in the Hebra region again, in a shrine named Tandem. The shrine is big compared to others, and the wall tower linked to the point where it's hard to imagine being able to get on top of them. What you first want to do here is to advance until you see a wall of wooden boxes. As soon as the door which leads to the box is opened, immediately use stasis on any box closer to the center of the stack. This prevents the boxes from being destroyed by a metallic spike that's going to fall. Next, use magnesis on one of the metallic chests on the shrine. Use the chest to push one of the wooden boxes from the bottom of the slope to the top. After that, there's another slope with metallic spikes that you need to carry the box through. Before climbing, make sure the metallic spikes don't spawn again. Do this by using magnesis on a spike to place it anywhere that it wouldn't fall into lava. Continue to the top of the shrine by using the treasure chest and magnesis technique, until you find the monk. Don't speak to the monk yet. Drag the box to the wall behind the monk, and then place the chest on top of the box to maximize the height. It might take a few tries, but once you get them stacked, simply run and climb onto the wall. After that, move to the right and bring the chest with you with magnesis. The next step is hard. You need to throw the chest up with magnesis, and then you need to use stasis while the chest is slightly off the ground. This makes the chest act slightly like a stepping stone for Link so he can reach higher. From here, you're free to explore any part of the shrine. The only reason this shrine isn't close to first on the list is because there's no practical reason to do any of this. It's completely for the sake of exploring the shrine. Okay, for number 8, we're in the Passing of the Gates shrine. This shrine is a small shrine, and it's one of the few shrines that requires a key, air quote. And my favorite part about this shrine is that there's so many different ways to not open the door that's supposed to be open. It's just kind of funny. To do the skip I'm about to show you, you need to first get on top of the rotating gate. You can use Cryonis to do this. After getting on top, drop a bomb near the slightly raised part of the rotating gate, which is like a little bit off the floor. And next what you need to do is grab the chest from the wall that's on the opposite side of the wall that you start at. And open the chest, make sure it's open, then drag the chest across the floor and try to get the open part to face down while it's on the raised floor. And while face down, drag the chest with magnesis over the bomb, and then use stasis on the chest as quickly as possible so it doesn't fall back to its normal position. Quickly crouch walk on top of the chest, and the chest should carry you to the top. Be sure to open the paraglider at the right time, then make your way to the wall. Once again, for number 7, we find ourselves in the Abra region, in the shrine named Power of Reach. The first thing you need to do for this skip is to break boxes under the swinging platform in the shrine that I think is in the second room. Use stasis on the swing and hit it from the bottom so that it'll shoot up when released. Then get on the swing and let it shoot you up. While I was trying this, I completely failed, so I landed in the wrong spot, but luckily, the metallic box that was under the swing helped me get to where I wanted to go anyway. That was kind of dumb and funny. And after getting on the higher roof, you can actually go even further using the box from before, along with a metallic chest. Place the box on the wall towards the exit, and then use the stepping stone technique I mentioned before on the chest so that you can reach the highest wall. From here, you can jump down to the monk. I like this shrine for two reasons, actually. One, because I screwed up and it looked really stupid and funny. And two, a bunch of techniques are required for this shrine to be skippable. Number 6 is one of the most satisfying skips, and it takes place in the Todo-Sa apparatus near the Little Twin River of the Twin Peaks. The shrine contains a sliding set of stairs that are supposed to be in line. But rather than align the stairs, what you need to do is to point the slide rail slightly above the exit of the shrine. This way the slides can move vertically. Jump on the sliding stairs, then use stasis on them. Then build up energy by hitting it. After delivering most of the hits with a weapon, drop a bomb off of the side of the stairs and time the explosion so that it directs the slides as vertically as possible. When the slide releases, you will gain some crazy satisfying airtime, resulting in one of the best hops possible in the game. Just remember one thing, as it'll occur later again. Don't panic when opening the paraglider. Opening the glider prematurely can ruin a potentially perfect jump. I don't know what's up with the Hebra region, but we're here again at number 5, in a shrine named Tandem. In the first room, there's a ball hanging from the ceiling by a rope. Get the ball down, and bonus points if you can get it down without opening the door. I'll go through this one slowly, as it's really freaking hard. First, I pushed the ball into a position where I could climb it, which happened to be near the big switch in the room. Then I put a bomb on the ground, but pay close attention to the placement. The bomb needs to be far enough that it hits the ball, but it misses Link while he's on the ball. Hit the ball heavily while it's in stasis, then run at it and climb it. Unfortunately, this redirects the ball the wrong way, but this is where the bomb comes in. Detonate the bomb, and the ball should fly towards the slope of the raised platform, which should cause the ball to fly vertically after. When I tried this, the ball hit me, but luckily I was caught in the pocket of the wall, and I don't know how I managed to stay on the wall I landed on, since half my body was over the ledge as I rolled. I was going to go to the monk's room originally, but I saw a giant part of the shrine that's normally inaccessible, so I went to that part instead. I went crazy when I saw this room because it was such a big space, but there was nothing there, so I got to speculating. I forgot whether or not the part fills after some event triggers in the shrine, so I wasn't sure if it was going to be filled after I was supposed to do something or not. And honestly, I didn't know what to make of it. At first I thought maybe the shadows of the ceiling were supposed to spell something out in Japanese, but I couldn't make anything of it. My favorite part about this shrine is the secret room you can enter if you manage to climb any wall. Alright, so number 4, this is the one that started it all for me. Like, when I first was doing this shrine, and this happened, I was just astonished that this was possible. So for number 4, we're in the Synced Swing Shrine at the peak of Satori Mountain. This is one of the most straightforward skips available, but it's really easy to miss as an option. This shrine taught me that there's some really unintuitive ways to shrines, to the point where one shrine can feel like it's two different ones based on how you go about them. And also, the best part is that airtime. It is so satisfying. You go from like half of the insanely long shrine to the other end, and it's just really cool. Now we're dealing with shrines that exist in a whole other realm of difficulty than the shrines I mentioned before. Normal shrine skipping techniques don't apply to these ones, so you really gotta get creative. We start off in a shrine called Aim for the Moment, located in Hyrule Ridge. And if someone was to tell me that you could reach the roof of this shrine, I would have laughed before I started doing this. But after a lot of trial and error, I found a way to consistently be able to get on top. And surprisingly, all you need are the runes and whatever is available in the shrine. Before starting, you first need to get the metallic chest down from the wooden plank higher up on the shrine. And you also need to activate the launching mechanism. And make sure you open the chest when you get it down. Now comes the good part. Place 2 bombs as close as possible to the launcher on the side that is facing the big ball in the shrine. Next, hold the chest with magnesis over the launcher and keep it in magnesis while it gets hit by the launcher. The chest must be specifically positioned so about 2/3 of it is not in contact with the launcher, and it must be on the same side as the bombs, and the open side must be facing the ball. When the launcher retracts, quickly switch from magnesis to stasis and trap the chest, but only when the chest is slightly higher than the ground. Keep your distance from the bombs, and before the launcher shoots up, detonate the bombs to build the chest energy. Then run to the top of the launcher. If everything went well, the launcher should have added to the chest's energy, and the chest should be face down and directed towards the roof. Quickly crouch onto the chest and stay on its center, and when the chest releases, it should bring you to the roof. Now this is really much harder than it looks, and it took me a lot of tries to get right. And if you want to try this, make sure you get the timing right, as there are a lot of things you need to do while the launcher goes through only one cycle. The reason the shrine is so hard is because the safest way to ride a chest is to crouch on its back while it's open. And the best way to do that is by using the launcher. Number 2. This skip. If this list was based on difficulty, this shrine skip would not only take the cake, but it would take every cake that ever existed, eat them, and it would still have them too. I was lucky to have even done this once, as I started to think it was impossible at one point. In theory, this skip should be very similar to the Todo-sa apparatus, as the idea is to redirect a rail so that you can shoot yourself up. Unlike in the Todo apparatus though, bombs won't help. The landing zone is literally Link's height below the invisible ceiling, and there are frickin' damaging spikes on the launcher. So the first step is to rearrange the spikes on the platform in the first room so that they don't interfere with each other, like so. After that, you need to position the platform in a way where you can hit with a weapon. Hit the spikes as many times as possible while leaving time in the end so you can reposition the platform. Sprint back to the platform controller and try to get the rail at an angle where the platform blocks the door on the other side from sight, leaving only the semicircular opening visible. Next, sprint, jump, and let the launcher hit you. If everything goes well, you might land on the highest wall in the shrine. When I did it, I used a spear, I didn't have a hasty boost, and the launcher actually hit me very slightly after it released. While hitting the spikes, I maintained a distance where one backflip would be enough for me to reach the gyro controller. Based on the way the camera is angled, the walls in the shrine were never intended to be climbable, so if you manage to get up there, save a picture or two and consider it a trophy of shrine skip mastery. From this point, you can either jump or walk to the monk, or you can go in the normally inaccessible area with the 3 balls without even leaving the first room. The only reason that the shrine isn't number 1 is that I don't know any consistent way to redo this skip. But if anyone manages to find a consistent way to do it, 1, you're a true master, and 2, please enlighten us by commenting. Alright, we finally hit it. Here's number 1, the Wind Guide Shrine. This shrine is really big, like really damn big. Not only in size, but in terms of puzzles, as the shrine contains a lot of combinations of different and fun puzzles. Luckily, you don't need to do any of them if you manage to pull off a trick in the second room. The first thing you want to do is to proceed to the second room of the shrine, which is very straightforward. In the second room, there are guardians crawling below the platform that you're on. Leave them there, they'll help you out. What you need to do is to hit the switch that will spawn a smaller platform with balloons on it. Next, drop a square bomb in the center of the balloon platform, make some distance, use stasis on the platform, then detonate the bomb. This will give massive energy to the platform, but it'll direct it downwards. Don't worry about that yet, this is where the guardians come in. Get back on the platform, crouch, position yourself on the center, and by the time you get ready, the guardians will shoot their beams up and attempt to hit you. If everything goes right, you should be carried by the platform as it shoots up. Stay calm and don't open the paraglider too early, it could ruin a good attempt. Once you land on the wall, almost every wall in the shrine is connected, so you can go basically anywhere you want. And you can even hop over to the monk's room, which would require a key normally. Now this is my favorite skip because if done correctly, you can quickly skip one of the most puzzle-filled shrines in the game, but also, it's basically an embodiment of everything that shrine skips do best. It shoots you up really fast, you get a lot of airtime, you can go anywhere that you want afterwards, and it's one of the coolest ways to get on the highest rooms legitimately. I would have never imagined that Breath of the Wild would have enough content to surprise me even a year after its release, which goes to show how good the game is. Personally, I'd rather just complete the shrines how they're supposed to be done, but if you're looking for a way to extend the game, you can really try these tricks. If you guys notice anything I could have done better in the shrines, or have a favorite trick that I haven't mentioned, let me know in the comments. With that, I'm gonna wrap up. Thanks for watching guys, and I hope you enjoyed.